Okay, so I've got another question, a good question actually, and before we get into that though, the important stuff, I have had to bring Teddy back into the chair. Oh, he's just so wonderful. He has been the best cat this past 2 days because this kitten has been terrorizing him, jumping all over him. And if you watch my Instagram, you'll see I posted videos. Teddy just takes it and then he cuddles up with him. Oh, Teddy is the best. So anyway, somebody asked how the kitten was. 3 months old. It's big though, quite a big kitten. Anyway, all right. So the actual question is it actually possible to trigger extreme hunger at some point if you haven't been experiencing it since the start of your eating disorder recovery? Or do some people just have to force feed themselves until they're fully recovered? All of the above. So in my experience, the majority of people, we usually have mental hunger all the time. But in terms of physical hunger, most of us don't experience that until we've actually started eating quite a lot. For me, my extreme hunger kicked in quite early. I'd say that I know I was eating over, I can't remember, but I was eating over 3,000 calories a day, probably between 3,000 and 5,000, and then my extreme hunger kicked in, and then I ate a lot more than that. Let's just say, gave up counting after that. So that, I think, is the most common scenario. Most of our sort of physical hunger signals are a bit dormant, and then you start eating, and you have to be eating for a while before your brain kind of goes like, oh, fuck, there's actual food around. Well, let's get kicked in. And then it does. So some people, I have worked with people who their experience has been they've been restricting heavily, and they actually have extreme physical hunger almost immediately as soon as they stop restricting even a little bit. I have worked with some people who have had extreme physical hunger whilst they've been restricting heavily, and they're still restricting really heavily. So it's not for everybody that you start eating and then it kicks in. And what was the last part of that question? Sorry, I'm just trying to catch the kitten. Caught it. I caught one. There he is. Yeah, I know, you want to go and fuck things up. Off you go fuck shit up. Do some people have to force feed themselves until they're fully recovered? I've known that too. But it's not really force feeding though, is it? Because the mental hunger is usually always there. And so I don't really think, I know what you mean. You're sort of not physically hungry for it, and you can actually feel physically quite full and like you don't want to eat at all. So in a sense, from that physical point of view, you might feel like you're force feeding yourself, but at the same time, the mental hunger is usually rampant. And I just want to reiterate here, the thing that I always say is that physical hunger is relatively unimportant in this whole scenario. The important thing is mental hunger. That's what we're focusing on. That is what we are eating to. We are eating to mental hunger. Physical hunger, if it's there, great, added bonus. If it's not there, you still got to eat to mental hunger. So, it's kind of beside the point a little bit. Don't worry about it too much. A lot of time people don't have extreme hunger, and they sort of wish they did have that extreme physical hunger because they have got the extreme mental hunger, and they have this idea that if they have the extreme physical hunger, it makes it feel more justified eating. Just let go of that. It's like when you're a person with an eating disorder, your brain finds every single thing or loophole or fault that it could do just to make your recovery more complicated. So don't do that. Just eat to mental hunger and be happy with that. All right, gotta go. Bye.